Could you tell us why you needed to get an MRI? I understand that the results were good, but what was it for?
Because it's part of my physical. Getting an MRI is very standard. Well, you think I should have?
Kept Dick Cheney alive till he was 84 years old with 7 heart attacks. So
and a heart transplant.
And a transplant. Yeah. And he said this, he was completely perplexed why they would, order a MRI on someone that claims that they're perfectly healthy. He said to back up, to buttress what you...
What on earth just happened? James Carville blasted into political discourse like a man who accidentally downed 5 espressos and suddenly decided today was the perfect moment to verbally body slam Donald Trump into next week. I mean, Carville didn't just criticize Trump, he unloaded a full Louisiana thunderclap on him. And the internet is still glitching, trying to reboot after the shock. So buckle up, because whatever you expected, it's wilder, louder, and far more unhinged. Let's get into it.
Would you consider a pardon or a commutation for Ghislaine Maxwell if cooperating?
It's something I haven't thought about. It's really something.
Recommended it.
It's something I'm allowed to do it, but it's something I have not thought about.
But you wouldn't rule it out, sir?
You ain't seen nothing yet. Okay, he is going, before he leaves, he is going to pardon everybody in his administration. Do you think he's not going to pardon Pete Hegseth? Of course he is. You think he's not going to pardon Jared and Witkoff and that whole crowd? Of course he is. He can pardon himself.
Before we go any further, hit that like button and subscribe because you already know you don't want to miss this. James Carville burst onto the political stage looking like a man who woke up, grabbed chaos for breakfast, and chased it with a gallon of raw caffeine. Instantly, the calm buzz of political conversation exploded into a full-on comedic storm. And right in the middle of it all stood Carville, spinning like a tornado, armed with a PhD in roasting.
Really, really significant downside political standing right now. He's got to realize at some point that he's appointed a pack of buffoons that can't do anything, but he's a big enough buffoon that he may not realize it. But I am just worried sick about the next 3 years. And I think your point, because he's not going to get better. You and I know this. Age is like an elevator that doesn't go down. The best you can hope for.
Nobody saw it coming. 1 minute, everyone's minding their business. The next, Carville's commentary landed so hard, even the microphones needed therapy. The second he started talking, it felt like the universe froze. Birds halted mid-flight, Wi-Fi signals stalled. Somewhere in America, a TV remote slipped from someone's hand in slow motion.
You can go chapter and verse of the number of things that they've done, but you look at the big, beautiful bill, which might be the single most immoral piece of legislation to pass the Congress since at least they passed these Jim Crow laws or whatever that bullshit was. So, yes, the question is, but don't worry, the messenger is coming, but she or he won't get there till...
Because when Carville gets rolling, it's not a gentle critique. It's not even a spicy remark. It's a full Louisiana-style cookout with opinions sizzling hotter than gumbo in July. And the main course? Trump served up straight-up flambe.
And I would bet anything that we're probably in better health than he is, but you never know, he can drop dead the next minute. But there's so many things that are going wrong for him all at one time. And he's dealing with adversaries like Russia and China that possess something that he has none of, and that's patience. Yeah. And he is going to try some crazy stuff between now and...
Carville didn't touch the topic like a normal commentator. Forget calm tones or gentle talking points. He came in with the energy of a man who'd been waiting years for someone to finally hand him a microphone. The moment he spoke, it was like a squirrel finally emptying every acorn it had ever hoarded, and the verbal fireworks lit up the sky so intensely, satellites probably had to recalibrate. Picture Trump somewhere, minding his own business, adjusting his tie in a gold-framed mirror. Suddenly, a blast of rhetorical wind hits him so hard, his hair moves in a direction scientists have never documented. That was Carville. Maybe not physically, but spiritually crashing into the political conversation like a comedic thunderclap. He went after Trump's behavior with the intensity of someone aggressively rearranging furniture during stress. Every point he made landed with such force you could practically hear explosions, whooshes, and a couple of cartoon boings. Nothing about it was subtle. Subtlety packed its bags the moment Carville walked in.
You have never seen the amount of pardons that you're getting ready to see. I promise you. And by the way, can I prove this? No, but I hope that we dig very deep into the pardon of this guy from Honduras. And
the bombshell hit when Carville described Trump's antics so clearly everyone could picture it. Trump tripping over his own statements while the universe played dramatic opera in the background. Carville narrated it like a children's book called The Day Everything Collapsed Again. Every transition felt like a new level in a political video game. One moment, he exposed Trump's endless theatrics. The next, he painted him pacing, scrambling for a comeback scribbled on a 3 a.m. napkin. And Carville's delivery? Razor sharp, confident, knowing he was about to make at least 7 group chats explode. He didn't tiptoe in, he kicked the door open, claimed the living room as his stage, and tossed Trump's reputation around like laundry in a high-speed washer.
Well, what's happened is we have just inequalities or discrepancies or whatever you want to call it. And about 45% of the country can't pay any bills. Young people see no future. They can't imagine themselves ever buying a house. They can't imagine themselves ever affording an education. Meanwhile, savers and old people have just run off with the whole stack. And look at what we just did. We just added another $4 trillion in debt. We just gave more tax.
It wasn't just commentary, it was an experience. Viewers felt like they'd stumbled into a comedy club where the headliner did political stand-up with a flamethrower. You couldn't look away, not because it was serious, but because it was outrageously, unbelievably funny. The more Carville described Trump, the more the visual comedy unfolded. Dramatic gestures, flustered energy, the kind of panic you get when your phone hits 1% in an unfamiliar city. His tone dripped with sarcasm, sweet like syrup, but burning like hot sauce. Every line shouted, "I'm done sugarcoating this." Trump's public persona spun on a rotating pedestal, while Carville circled with a metaphorical clipboard, pointing out absurdities with museum critic precision. Pure theatrical brilliance. No lights, no props, just raw comedic force.
I guess it's 96-4. You could say it is both sides. And
Right.
I don't like you. I would have pardoned my own son. I would have pardoned my grandson. Who wouldn't have done that? But, hopefully, I think I'll make a projection here at 2028. I think the biggest dominant issue is going to be corruption. Because I think we're just getting a whiff of it. And I think
Just when you thought Carville was done, he found a new angle, a fresh absurdity, another comedic wrinkle in Trump's behavior. The takedown unfolded like a magician pulling endless scarves from a hat, colorful, ridiculous, and non-stop. The audience didn't know whether to take notes, cheer, or brace for impact. By mid-exchange, Carville's words choreographed Trump into a dance of bewilderment, spinning him through imaginary scenarios that made dignity take a temporary leave. Trump's grand persona turned into a balloon accidentally released, flopping across the room with sputters and anticlimax. By the final roast, it felt like a fireworks show running 3 minutes too long. Brilliant, chaotic, unforgettable. Trump's once polished image now drifted like a deflated pool float in the shallow end.
In the depth, but the breadth of it. I mean, wherever it was, if it was Mississippi or Virginia or New Jersey or Georgia, it was all the same thing. And, as we speak now, there's this Tennessee district that's up special on, going to be the second And Trump carried that district by 22 points. His polling is now at an all-time low. I just saw Gallup. He's at 36. How about much lower you can go?
And the beauty of it? Carville didn't need props, lights, or special effects. Just words. Relentless, hilarious words, delivered with the swagger of a veteran who still finds ways to surprise. Every line landed like perfect slapstick, making even the sound crew laugh. When the dust settled, the political scene looked like a battlefield of punchlines and shattered composure. Carville walked away triumphant, not with a speech, but knowing he'd unleashed something unforgettable. Trump? If reputations had shock absorbers, his would still be bouncing. This wasn't politics. It was pure spectacle. Cinematic comedy done with zero restraint. Viewers will replay it, quote it, and laugh for weeks. Carville didn't just make a point. He created a blazing, ridiculous moment, showing how wildly entertaining political chaos can be in the hands of a master showman.
Well, you asked the correct question because we know that Michael Wolff said that in that safe, Epstein pulled out pictures of him and Trump with some scantily clad young females, and that Trump had a stain on his trousers. One has to assume that, no reason to think Michael was not telling the truth, that when his apartment, a condo, a mansion was raided.
As the echoes of Carville's verbal fireworks fade, one thing is clear. Nobody will forget this performance anytime soon. His moment didn't drift into political memory, it parked itself center stage, like a parade float shaped entirely like chaos. The aftershock rippled everywhere. Commentators scrambled to catch their breath. Analysts blinked as if rebooting. Viewers wondered whether they'd seen political analysis or a theatrical takedown disguised as one. Either way, Carville hit a level of comedic ferocity usually reserved for cartoons where everything explodes at once. His words painted Trump's decision-making like a carnival ride spinning before anyone is buckled in. The strongest image, Trump wobbling like a lawn ornament caught in a windstorm, struggling to stay upright as reality blew harder with every second. Carville didn't need to say it, his energy delivered the message perfectly.
3 million people.
Of course it is. And what's also going up is electricity costs going up. It's like 21% higher than the inflation rate. So you got to deal with that, and insurance costs, and God knows what. No, people are not going to be able to afford it. The people that were on the exchange, you hear real-life bar stories from people. Like, I was paying $450 a year, and I'm going to pay $2,200 a year. And I just can't afford it. And that's very common. And
just as the commentary gained momentum, Carville escalated with the gusto of a master refining years of calling out nonsense. Not just pointing it out, he detailed it, illustrated it, and seasoned it with humor so potent it could be a condiment. By now, even viewers planning to watch 30 seconds were fully hooked. Political popcorn, impossible to stop. The brilliance was in the rhythm. Carville moved point to point like a jazz musician on his 5th espresso. One moment, he painted Trump as a chaotic spectacle. The next, he spun a story so vivid, even political newcomers got the joke. The absurdity unfolded like a slow-motion tumble-down rhetorical stairs. Carville highlighted Trump's unpredictability like a scientist, showing the effects of impulsiveness on unlimited attention. Sarcasm dripped thick enough to spread on toast. If political commentary were art, this was abstract expressionism. Bold, dramatic, impossible to ignore, and delightfully confusing.
Well, okay, thank you, Jim. Because remember I was telling you about Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Trump hates, they had figured this out. Who really got screwed big time by the Trump-Mondami love fest? All right, who is the big loser in this? I'll tell you who it was. The Murdoch Empire. All right,
As viewers watched, they could almost see Trump reacting. Not calmly or thoughtfully, but like someone flailing. Insisting a fire he started was the extinguisher's fault. Carville didn't need much exaggeration. The comedy wrote itself. But he added extra flair because why not? He built the spectacle with transitions smoother than a con artist slipping out when the lights turn on. Each point arrived dramatic, hilarious, and fully formed. Trump's persona became clay in Carville's hands, molded from baffled to bewildered to mythically confused. The imagery was brilliant. Trump spinning in circles, chasing his contradictions, or performing with cue cards written in disappearing ink. Carville turned political behavior into pure, glossy, slapstick satire, funny without ever imitating or quoting.
Get out. And the range is what is our deficit now, like $38 trillion, $39 trillion, and they got nothing. They got nothing. They can't buy a house. I mean, in everything, our entire tax code is tilted toward savers, is tilted toward, you know, the way I describe it is there's two kinds of people in the world. Those that have it made. They have a savings account, they own their house, they have money in the bank, and they have health insurance, and they have all of the accoutrements that she would think of.
As the pace accelerated, Carville layered descriptions that turned Trump's strategy into a board game where the rules change every 5 minutes and the dice catch fire. Viewers got front row seats to the world's most absurd magic show, where every trick ends in confetti and mild existential confusion. Somehow, Carville made it look effortless. The more he unraveled absurdities, the more the audience laughed. It was like peeling an onion, each layer funnier and more chaotic. This wasn't commentary out of duty. It was a seasoned performer savoring the moment. Trump became a roller coaster of comical metaphors, sprinting through a maze he built, assembling furniture without instructions, insisting it's perfect. Carville delivered it all with such commitment, the audience could practically feel the sparks flying.
And I told Democrats too. And then when I got Madonna, I said, well, ask Trump. I think Trump was more favorable to him than I was. He's completely screwed them. He undercut their whole argument. Oh, yeah, well, yeah, they did well, but look at Madonna. He's the face of the party. He's the socialist. He ought to be deported. He shouldn't even be in the United States. And then Trump comes in and says, I think I'd live in New York. I think it's gonna be a great state here. But he screwed his own people. He hates his own.
The crescendo grew with every observation. Carville framed Trump's reactions as dramatic overextensions, each more nonsensical than the last. If this were animated, Trump would ricochet across the screen like a ping-pong ball of pure bewilderment. The absurdity wasn't subtle, it glowed like a neon sign. Carville didn't let up. His momentum was relentless, like a man finally unleashing a comedic monsoon. Trump's behavior became the centerpiece of a show where every twist topped the last, not by exaggeration, but through Carville's theatrical precision. Imagine Trump juggling decisions while balancing on a wobbly stool, public perception, conflicting statements, and wide-eyed viewers all in play. Carville didn't need to narrate the collapse. The energy said it all.
So I'm sorry, but to the 10% that said, well, I voted for change, I didn't vote for this, then you were a goddamn idiot. And what my favorite group of people are these Wall Street Trump supporters, these guys worth $6 gazillion. Well, I didn't know he was going to do this. I was surprised that they wasn't thought out. What the fuck has he ever done in his life that's ever been thought out? Nothing. How could you?
By now, the commentary reached its peak. Satire wrapped in storytelling, storytelling laced with sarcasm, and sarcasm delivered with comedic precision that could power cities. Carville conducted an orchestra of chaos, with Trump's unpredictability as percussion. The finale built slowly, layered with meticulous humor. Trump's persona became a political cartoon, dramatic, exaggerated, constantly moving, sprinting on a speeding treadmill. Carville observed like a teacher grading a crayon-written exam. By the end, the takedown felt less like commentary and more like a comedic masterpiece. Trump's grand self-image deflated theatrically, fluttering to earth like a parade balloon. Carville walked away metaphorically, leaving a spectacle unforgettable enough to deserve its own awards ceremony. The world sat in the glow of pure entertainment. Carville's words echoed like a triumphant drum roll. Trump's aura drifted like a confused feather, and the audience savored every second of the chaotic symphony.